Can men and women be just friends? The age-old question, and I'm just asking you that because I want to know your opinion. It has nothing to do with the video. I'm just wondering what you think. Let me know in the comments. Okay, today's video. Can men and women be just friends? Whoa. What are the odds of that? Okay, let's get into it.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
I don't give a if she was a homie. But if she stole my money, yeah, that affects my life.
This is On the Spectrum by Jubilee. No, this is just a show called Spectrum by Jubilee.
Men and women cannot just be friends. 3, 2.
Let's discuss it before we see their answer. I think they can be. I've always been of the opinion that they can be just friends.
2, 1.
Cannot just be friends.
Okay, so we got strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree. These people are like, hell no. I will not be around a person of the other sex unless they're my sibling or I'm fucking them.
But I'll go ahead. There's always this underlying current to a man and a woman when they're just friends, because there's this sexual attraction, this energy that you can't even see it. It's always flowing. And men, as you know, you guys are conquerors. You want a conquest. You want to, even if it's a friend, sometimes that develops into more simply because law of familiarity, you start getting close and comfortable, and maybe you weren't attracted to her initially, but that opposition of that sexual polarity always kicks in.
What if the man is like not attracted to women? Just like generally, do you think that's still?
You mean if they take a different
Like a gay man and
sexual orientation
and a woman being friends?
Well,
Oh, wait. Okay, so she's on the strongly agree side. Men and women cannot. Why did they fucking. The double negatives throw me off. I strongly agree with the fact that men and women cannot just be friends. I see what okay. So she is like, never could happen. There's always the sexual energy underneath. Which I agree to some extent, like this like kind of human nature that's a thing, but like it's like whether like she just assumes like all dudes are gonna act on that. Like I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think sometimes like if we're talking about a straight friendship, that can just stay friends if the people want it to.
well, I think that's different, perhaps because they're
But I also think there's some where there's just no sexual chemistry at all.
attracted to men. So in that moment, they have taken on the feminine energy.
So they only want to conquer the men, not the women.
Well, in that, there's always masculine and feminine energy, whether you're a man or woman. So if the man is gay and identifies as being attracted to men, then he's in the feminine energy, mostly. Now, if there's two of them, there's one that's more masculine and more feminine, but that's for another.
2 of my best friends are women. We have great times together all the time. Not once have I considered sleeping with them or anything like that.
Ever?
No. But that's the thing is though.
In
that's
their
why,
darkest hour, in your darkest hour, come on.
No.
Because you like started off.
Because we started off as friends and
I love the other guys like, come on, what? Not even once? You've definitely, the thought has crossed your mind once. I mean, right? You've thought about it. I mean, you could say the same thing for the woman too, in that friendship. It's like, she's probably, the thought has crossed her mind once. Even if the answer was like, no, I wouldn't do that. Or like, gross, she's just a friend to me or whatever. It crossed your mind.
this is like I said, I was never attracted to them.
A lot of relationships start like that today, even though I discourage it. They say, I'm not attracted to them, but it'll grow. And I'm always like, eh.
Is this woman like a coach or something? Is she like what's going on? Crazy dress to wear to an On the Spectrum video.
Can happen.
It can, but
But the odds of it, so I agree with you on that as well.
yeah, that's why I'm like, I do
Slim to
understand
none.
and I get it, but like 2 of my best friends are women and not once. Everyone keeps saying like, oh, you're gonna do, and I'm like, it's not.
You never know. Yeah, life is a long time.
Are your friends attractive?
Yes.
Like they look good.
But attractive is subjective.
But like just like generally speaking, like your
Yes.
girls like look good, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Just generally speaking. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying right now. She's like, but it's subjective. It doesn't matter. Did they look good? Did they?
if you was just lonely, like it's been a moment, you didn't want to beat it, you know what I mean? Or like, you know.
There's a special exemption. I'm non-monogamous, so I never have to worry about intimacy.
Well, that's why.
Wait, so you getting played. So you ain't worried about your man.
He's like getting it, so he doesn't need it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you was lonely and you wasn't getting it though, and your friend was throwing it
and
at
I guess
you,
that's a different situation. That's what I'm saying. I know I'm an
you belong
outlier.
over here though.
Come to the dark side.
If he's not attracted, if we're not attracted,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
just
like,
friends.
it's just friends. Yeah.
As
a straight, very monogamous man, I grew up mainly being friends with women. I felt more comfortable in those spaces. I felt more comfortable talking to women. I've never been like a bro, rah, 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 that type of thing. So I think men and women absolutely can be. I have friends that I've had since elementary school, middle school. We talk very often and we talk about all these things, and it has never affected that aspect of the relationship because we're men and women.
But you've thought about it. I'm kidding. I know that's what that other dude's thinking right now. He's like, cool, yeah, but like, you would though. Because it all seems to lead back to that. It's like, it all seems to lead back to the fact that like the guy would if the girl would allow it, the guy would. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I also don't think that the definition of friendship between a man and a woman is that there is zero sexual energy at all. I feel like that also doesn't make any sense.
We're just people, and people can be friends. It's not.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
So my perspective is from kind of a Christian worldview.
Yes.
I think that there are friendships between men and women that have zero sexual chemistry. But if there is some, that doesn't just become not a friendship. It doesn't all of a sudden become, oh, you guys aren't friends, you're just waiting to fuck each other.
I believe that, God created man and woman to come together in love and attraction, to be one. And so from that standpoint, I believe that there is just a natural attraction. I have had some extremely close friends that were girls, and that attraction just developed because it wasn't just physical, but it was love. It was getting to see how they were around their family, around kids, what they do for work, what they do for school, developing that relationship. So from my perspective, that attraction develops because I wasn't just looking at her from just, she's just a body. Yeah, she's just a piece of meat. Yeah. You develop that emotional attraction.
Yeah, but every other girl, that's my viewpoint on them, is that pieces of meat.
Which is why I'm over here. Yes, joining this dark
Can you not?
side.
I would ask.
Because I completely agree with you on that. From the same Christian standpoint, 100%.
I would date someone I do not find physically attractive.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, man. Wait, you want to say something first?
Yeah, what? What?
I do it all the time because there's a lot you don't, just from the physicalness, it's like.
Wait. Isn't this the guy from the fucking body count video that thought he had the most bodies? Well, I searched Jubilee and the first thing that comes up is Jubilee Codico. This is the guy! 66. That was his number, 66. Keep in mind, at the time of filming this came out 3 days ago. This was a month ago. He thought he had the most, I don't know if you've seen this video, but it was like people organize themselves and try to figure out who has the highest body count. And he thinks he's one of the highest. And he turns around as his sign says 66. And then the woman who actually wins, she turns her sign around and it was 1,000 plus. So maybe he saw that and he was like, oh fuck. There's levels to this shit. I gotta get out there and I gotta start fucking. So maybe that's why he's like, I don't even find these people attractive anymore. I'm just fucking them. Just trying to jack my number up.
Sometimes there's some people that I learned just by not going in based off physical attraction is I end up being attracted to them just because of their personality. And looks can be deceiving. I could say the same on the opposite end where I thought someone was absolutely attractive, but then I got to know them and they were the worst person I could have possibly been on a date with.
I feel like you can definitely not be attracted to somebody initially, and then as you get to know them.
Yeah,
I feel like
100%.
At that point, like once I like someone's personality romantically, I probably also think they're attractive.
I would say that for some.
Yeah, but physically? That's what the question says, physically. Like there's a difference between I find this person attractive because they're funny, or this person makes me laugh a lot, so I find myself attractive to them. There's a difference between this person makes me laugh a lot, so I find myself attracted to them and I want to be around them more. There's a difference between that and like, this person makes me laugh a lot, so now all of a sudden I'm really turned on by the fucking boils on their back boils. I want to suck their back boils because they make me laugh. I love how generous they are, so I want to braid their back hair. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between that.
It's not a reflection on your character. How weighted appearance versus personality might be, it differs from person to person. I think that we have our preferences, and I think that a certain element of physical attractiveness is fitness, health, hygiene, and that reflects on usually competence, responsibility, and dedication. But I do see it as important, although not the whole package by any means.
Right. It's the very first impression you get of most people.
Yes.
Because like, you meet someone and you can't hear their voice first thing most of the time.
Phoenix. That's a crazy ass name. What's your favorite mythical creature? I mean, it's a phoenix, obviously, but we can't name our kid Phoenix. That's just too obvious. I have an idea.
You just see them and you're like, oh, that person's attractive, or like, I don't see myself with that person because I don't find them attractive. And that's totally fine. Not everybody's attracted to everybody. But me personally, I would not be with someone I don't find attractive.
So I gotta give context here, right? If I'm meeting you in person and you don't look good, then I'm over there with y'all. But if I'm meeting you through a dating app and I get catfished, but you're kind of cool, right? then, cause I met a girl that had nice pictures. But then when I seen her in person, she was a little bit bigger than I prefer, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well, everyone can have nice pictures today.
Yeah. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a big...
Do people use AI photos in dating apps? I want to know if that's a thing now. Like when I was on the apps, it was just like, you know, filters. That's all you could really do, and maybe a little Photoshop. But now it's like you can just be a fucking superhero. Just literally have a picture of you as someone, as a character in Game of Thrones, and chuck that up. It's your face. Does that happen? I want to know. I want to know if people do that and like try to pass them off as real, like deep fake themselves onto like a bodybuilder.
But for preference sake, I wasn't really feeling it. But her personality is what got me. And then I started entertaining it. So, right, even though I got catfished, I actually considered, you know, taking it seriously.
And I also date, like, sometimes I really try this because it's led to some great people I've got to meet along the way. I will date outside of my preferences just to see what that's like.
If you're not initially attracted to that person and have a strong sexual attraction, then it's not going to work, because we know that relationships get worse, not better. That's like, I don't know, I think it's a recipe for a disaster.
Damn. That's so bleak. That's such a depressing belief to have, that all relationships get worse, not better. I feel like that's only true if you really like live for the honeymoon phase. Like if that's what you're striving towards, like that, like the energy of like a new exciting fling or whatever, but like that's not what only defines a relationship. There's like growing with the person, like achieving Joel's? Achieving Joel's? Achieving Joel's. Having multiple boys and naming them all Joel. Achieving Joel's. Oh my god. Sure, it's exciting to hit it off with someone and go on dates and be like, I like them, do they like me? I don't know. Flirting with them and sending each other fucking nudes and shit like that. But then the true happiness is when you marry that person and you have multiple sons and you name them all Joel. Achieving Joels. Achieving Joels. And they're all spelled Jeeeol. Joel. Joel's too obvious. I got an idea. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I think what she meant is that like the honeymoon phase eventually dissipates. But growing with a person and getting old with them has its own beautiful, wonderful joys that are better in a lot of ways. So to just distill that down to relationships get worse, not better, is like saying, yeah, but we all know that we're just heading to death anyways. That's true, but like right now is fucking beautiful, you know? Holy fuck! Ha! Woo! I'm fucking getting myself fired up right now. That was some goddamn poetry.
Cheating is the worst thing my partner could do to me. 3, 2, 1.
They could kill you. What about murder? That's up there. It's gotta be up there.
I feel like there's like probably worse things like in theory that a partner could do to their partner, but just because that's such an important aspect for me, and like I feel like my partners in the past have like been very aware that was like something that I actively would not do. I feel like that would just that adds like an extra element of evil.
Yeah, my mind goes.
How are all these people strongly agreeing? Well, they could fucking, what if they beat the shit out of you? I don't understand. There's many worse things that a partner could do than cheating. Cheating is fucking bad. Agreed. strongly agreed. But like, I don't know, like, what if they fucking opened up a bunch of credit cards under your name and ruined your credit? That would probably suck worse in the long run.
Marriage, I mean, you know, when you marry this woman, when I marry a woman someday, you promise literally everything you have to be with her, literally thick and thin, to be with her through everything, through highs and lows. And I mean, if you do something like cheating, it's basically like, screw this love, this wasn't real. These promises that I made between us and God mean nothing. I think for a lot of Christians, that's like a big thing.
Do these Joels mean nothing to you? What about all these Joels we've achieved? Do those mean nothing to you? You just shit all over our Joels!
It's one of the 10 commandments too. It's like, do not commit adultery.
Yeah.
So that is definitely the worst thing, because getting married is a promise between you and that person and God.
I mean, technically there's worse things, like they could kill you, which would probably be
That's what's up. That is what's up.
the worst thing, because then like you're not even in the picture.
You belong over here.
So I'm kind of like, you know, but I would say that would like destroy me, and I would never even.
Getting killed would destroy you? I could not handle getting killed, man. That would fucking eliminate me, dude.
Think about something like that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I was actually cheated on a few, like 4 or 5 months ago. I struggled with self-esteem so much growing up, and that was the worst thing that could have happened. That destroyed any chance I had at self-love at that time. And it was just devastating for me. Like, it really was just devastating, because it didn't just destroy that relationship, it destroyed my entire image of myself that I had built up based on other people's validation, and I had to rip it down to the studs and just fully start over. Yeah, so that's why I'm over here. Strongly agree. For me personally, it was the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah, but you didn't get murdered. Yeah, but you didn't get, like, literally murdered. You know? They didn't destroy. Well, I mean, that's pretty fucking bad. That's a sad story, honestly.
Cheating is f***ed up. It's not a good feeling. Is it the worst thing that a partner could do to me? To be honest, I've outgrown that. Bro, I had over $250,000 stolen from me this year, bro. And that put me in a dark ass place. Now imagine, if my partner stole that money.
Crazy flex. That's a little humble little flex right there. Great way to flex.
From me, or she was just a homie. I'd be more mad about the money, you feel me, right?
I don't have that money to be stolen.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
But because at the end of the day, me and my ex, we ain't together no more, so I don't give a f if she was a homie. If she was, right? But if she stole my money, yeah, that affects my life. You know what I mean, right? So
he's got a fucking point. He's definitely got a point.
So my whole thing is, when we talking about the prom, is cheating the worst thing that the partner could do for me? I've been cheated on before. The first time I was cheated on, bro, I was petty. I was in high school, bro. I drove all the way to the crib and told her mom what she was doing with me. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, I was vengeful. But now I just be like, you know, so many people do it. There's worse things that they have. Like, if you kill my mom, I'd be more mad rather than you f***ing a homie.
The sanctity of marriage is supposed to be till death do us part. That doesn't mean if your carnal flesh gave in and you had, you know, an indiscretion that you're able to hit the door running. No, that means there's work to be done. We have problems. For me, I think it actually can be the best thing, because it's
the best thing? That's a crazy opinion to have. The best thing. I prescribe that, you know, in my coaching. Sometimes I'm sitting with a couple and they're having problems, and I say, you guys should just go fuck some strange. I'm telling you, that is the answer to your problems.
It's a sign that there is a huge problem in the relationship that needs fixed. Most sex is not emotional, so it's just a bodily act that animals do, and you're going to blow up a marriage or a relationship with children over sex. To me, I think that is ridiculous.
But sex,
you could say that.
They're all like, oh, what? No, what?
The person doing the cheating too.
I've been cheated on, so I have been cheated on.
So have I, by the way. I have. That was a horrible, horrible feeling.
So you think that's something you could like, oh, you have gotten over it?
I have gotten over it. If my husband cheats on me, of course I'd be devastated. I'm human, I bleed just like all y'all too, but I'd be like, damn, like, what's the problem here? What's the issue?
See, but that's,
and can we solve this?
Why don't you just talk? Like,
Well,
if you guys are
yeah.
married and you have that emotional
I feel like there's
relationship,
things before that
happen though. We know that people don't.
I think we should work to changing that.
We should,
Instead
but
of
that doesn't mean
accepting-
I'm going to unconditionally love you just because you went and had an indiscretion. I wouldn't do that to my son. My son F's up all the time and does crazy shit. I'm like, Where on God's green earth did you learn that? That doesn't mean I stopped loving him.
For men, I feel like
I feel like she kind of has a, she's older. Like all these people are young. They all have like the idealistic vision of what like a marriage and a relationship should be. She's probably seen some shit. She's probably seen, I feel like as you get older, you do see people cheat and stuff like that. And so you start to become a little bit more jaded, I guess, about like the, I don't know, that whole, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying like, I feel like that's where she's coming from. It's just, it seems a little like I don't think she's trying to be a contrarian. I think she's just like, listen, this is the way the world is when you're my age and you're married, is that like some people cheat and it's fucked up. It's shitty. Shouldn't happen, but you get cheated on and it's either you try to make it work or you miss half your kid's life for something you didn't do. Like, that's a fucking shitty choice, but it seems to be one that a lot of people are in, which is sad.
Cheating a lot more personally as opposed to women. It comes to the ego.
People's boundaries are all different. So if, you have perhaps been with no or less partners and then you get married, to learn that that person cheated would be proportionally much more devastating to someone who's had maybe a lot of relationship experience, and therefore that's more of an active part in their life. So I think that everyone's boundaries are different. So for some people, I have seen them get over it. I know for me personally, I would say that I'm a woman that would take that devastatingly seriously and would not look lightly at it. So it depends on the person's boundaries.
If you had children and if you had a family involved, you would break up your family over a man's one-time indiscretion.
Yes.
That would adversely affect your child and possibly send her to the stripper pole.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question because I feel like it's making a lot of...
That feels like an escalation.
Yeah, I see, that's... It's funny because like when I was younger, it was like it's just like, it's clear cut. I would leave, and then you get to be a little older and you're like, yeah, but that would, like, there's a lot more factors at play here. It's not just you and the world. It's like, and then, but you're like, yeah, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But like for now, but this is my opinion. It's like, yeah, but shit, it always, you get there eventually.
But I feel like that,
we don't want to answer those questions, but
that shows an example onto the kids, like, oh, this is not that bad of a thing.
Yeah, and I think that like somebody cheating on you is more than just like a physical thing. Like that's a break of trust, and I feel like if you can't have that trust in someone, then I also don't want them to be like raising my kids with me.
Yeah. So we're all saying that love is conditional is the end of
yes. 100% agree with that.
Monogamy is overrated. 3, 2, 1.
Monogamy is overrated.
Sorry. Of course.
Yeah, again, the double negative. Monogamy is overrated. Strongly disagree with the fact that it's overrated. So it's rated.
Man, get over here, get your foot over here, you know you belong here. At least
So all these people are saying monogamy is good. Yes, okay. Agreed.
No, we're like,
think about it.
We're like, a second.
Think about it.
we're taught from the Disney, all these fairy tales, it's like you're supposed to be with that one and only, so it's very frightening to break something traditional, but after like a few months with it, I just knew I'm like, this is the right choice. I've been in the most happiest of relationships. I just celebrated my 3 years with my primary partner, as well as my 2-year anniversary with my secondary partner.
Damn, is that how it works? You gotta call them primary and secondary? It's gotta not feel good to be the secondary, right? Or is that something that it's by design? You're like, no, I wanna be the secondary.
But it's like, I do think that monogamy is kind of overrated. I don't think that there's anything like, wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But I do think that non-monogamy and poly relationships should be something that like, it's looked at as an option.
Me and my ex was together for 5 years. I actually broke up with her in April. But for 2.5 years out that relationship, we was barely for like maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Then I moved her in the crib. Yeah. And then when I moved her in the house, for the whole first year of her living in the house, she just didn't want to have sex.
That's right.
Yeah. Now we had an agreement that we had agreed on where we could do various things that we just didn't want to know about and stuff like that, right? And because you wasn't me and like that, I was handling the agreement. Like I was following the agreement. But because there were certain things that wasn't necessarily 100% out there, that created complications in the relationship to the point that it ended up to us breaking up.
So he disagrees with the fact that monogamy is overrated because he had an open relationship and it didn't really work out. I feel like that's more common than it is not common. I'm not saying an open relationship never works out, because maybe it does. I'm just saying I feel like more often than not they don't. And also, if you want to like raise kids and stuff, it's like fucking like monogamy is absolutely not overrated.
I can't imagine a world where I would agree with that. And also before I had like loved someone or like dated anybody, I was like, oh no, I could totally be in an open relationship. And then I actually did not.
Slow down. Just slow down. You're talking so fast.
I was like, oh.
Are you
Never
a very
mind.
sexual person? Just curious though.
Like kind of.
Kind of.
Sure.
She's like, yeah.
So if your partner was very sexual too, and he's like, baby, like I want to be with you, but you always just shut him down because you ain't in the mood.
I don't. That's like never happened.
Oh,
I don't
well,
think.
okay, but I'm just
like I
saying,
just feel
like-
like that's like not. That's like personally for me not an issue. But also, I don't know. I think that would definitely be a conversation if there was like an imbalance. But also, I think there's different things that make people compatible as partners, and that's definitely one of them.
What he's saying is the cry of many men today is that they're not getting enough sex from their partner. And not just sex, it's not like men are like, oh, I'm heartless.
That connection.
But listen, men need sex to create intimacy. Women need intimacy to have sex. And people get married and then
Bars!
fuck around. It's like,
Yep.
just don't get married then. And stay like this boy, dates and anniversaries every
Y'all two are my people, I swear to God. Y'all two are my people.
Next month is his 1 year anniversary with partner number 3. Like just, you know what I mean? Just be out there doing your dates. And does that make sense?
By the end of the day, nobody should dictate your relationship.
Being the third partner, that's gotta be somewhat annoying. Being the third. Ah! Fuck! What the fuck? My headphones just fell. It scared the shit out of me. Just you want to hit a movie today or something? Maybe. I got 2 other things to check. If neither of them can do something, then I'm down. But, you know, chances are pretty low.
Because everyone's gonna try to push what they think works for,
Yeah.
you know, this is what's best for you. Like, I'm over it. I'm like, why? So I can be frustrated and pissed off and like, I've tried it. To me, it did not work.
I want to take perspective because, you know, Christian, I'm going to take perspective that's a little away from my biblical views. And no disrespect, but I do think polygamy is just laziness.
Not polygamy. This is polyamory.
No,
polygamy is
sorry.
when it's multiple wives,
Polyamorous.
just one person.
I see that as laziness, that you don't want to commit to someone in the hard times. Like you were talking about a little bit about, well, they're not getting
I
fulfilled
think he's probably taking offense to this. It's a crazy thing to be like, no offense, but you're fucking lazy.
sexually, so why not find it somewhere else?
Yeah.
Why not just do the hard work to work on your relationship?
agree
so
with
that
you.
you
I
can
was
get
ready
that
for this
pleasure?
question.
And
No.
I mean,
I was ready for
there's such a emotional, there's a psychological
Yeah.
just importance in being with one person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pair bonding.
So then
Yeah.
why do we have such a high divorce rate?
I agree with you on that.
why do we
but-
have such a high divorce rate?
Why are people still cheating? Why is open
Because they're not, because our country, I think, is lazy. We don't want to have these hard conversations of maybe we should go to therapy, maybe we should try to get help because we love one another. It's like, nah,
Or
I
even
can go
to
get
talk
this.
about it, period.
Yeah.
At the same time, monogamy I think works for a lot of people, so it's all what
Yeah.
works for you.
All right, last question. I would date someone in this room. They're gonna leave it on a spicy one. They're gonna let some people spit a little game.
I would date someone in this room. 3, 2, 1.
What? I don't know these people.
Surprised he was over here. I'm like, what are you
Damn, the Save the Children guy is like strongly agree. He's ready to spit some game right there. You could see him standing there like, ask me who, please ask me who, please ask me who.
surprised he was over here? I'm like, what are you doing?
I know, I was like,
He's already said what you're doing.
Like, the energy is cool.
You just have to have a pulse and we'll go out with you.
Oh my god. You have to have a pulse. Kind of fucking owned him there.
That's not how that is.
Perfect example, right? Like Janelle, she got good energy, right? Now imagine Janelle might be the coolest person. Next thing you know, you start getting to know her, she might be crazy. You be like, then you come over here all of a sudden.
Generally, the few people I've been attracted to, they look like Tim Burton dolls or just like weird goth
Tim Burton
people. Yeah, just like weird goth people. So like, it's just coincidence. It's very rare that I see.
I don't care why not. Tell me.
My girlfriend would kill me, and
Respect.
I like to think I'm pretty picky, so
But am I not your type though?
you got me feeling some type of way now that you say it. I don't know.
So you're my good side?
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, for me, beliefs.
Okay, who's it gonna be? Oh, it's her. It's her. And they both said strongly agree. No way. They're gonna fucking date.
Beliefs are extremely important.
She's blushing.
I mean, I ain't trying to get all flirty, but you are also very gorgeous.
Please send us a wedding invitation.
But no, beliefs are very important within relationships. I think I look into, obviously I have a desire to be a husband and one day be a father, and I think if you have different
I'm beaming. This is great. Show her. I want to see her. She's blushing.
and beliefs, it's very hard to raise coherently.
Absolutely.
I think that just is extremely important.
What the fuck is that? I guess they didn't have a camera angle on her. It's the back of her head. Absolutely. Oh, they're fucking hitting it off. All right, well, that was that. Sound off with your opinions in the comments. Like that wasn't fucking gonna happen already. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.
I'm on the dance floor till I'm all alone.